happy face on. Well, hello there. Period. Subscribers only. No, thank you. I bought something to eat because I'm hungry. I know. It's gonna do what it wanna do. Honey, just leave it. Let me get myself situated here. Give me a second. Trigger warning. I have gas. Just say that at the beginning of every live stream. Trigger warning. Let me make sure my brightness is slow. Okay, we up. Let me just get situated here. That's why I had the music playing. Then I have to go through all the features, get the thumbnail, you know, is this made for kids? Description, you know. Who is this for? 95%. Need somebody else. So we're gonna get into some things. Hopefully. Let me just slide you over there. Slide you down. Cover up, honey, cover up. Lean it up a little bit. Okay. So my food get cold. Let's see what you're talking about. I'll let you power on real quick. We already got music playing. Thank you, though. Thank you. We appreciate it. But we already got music playing. Ma'am. 50%. Let me sign in real quick. Let me make sure I was in the chat. Bad. Hold on. Come. Can you slide over? And thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the hearts. But I see it out of my peripheral. I do see it. Look, as I'm trying to get logged in over here on my other channel. Thank you for the hearts. As I'm trying to get logged in. Go back to home screen. Where we at? Happy holidays. Um, what's this? Oh, Alabama Parker. I was like, who is that? Alabama. Okay, okay, okay. Let me. I was getting lost. Okay, let me get on OBS real quick. Log me in. I'm trying to get. Okay. Let me wipe the screen. Where the rag at? I said, oh, she all the way in the back, all on my shoulders. Get that water, bring it up close. So we get started here. Should have bought a straw. Just sit right there. Okay. I had to get something to eat. I had to bring me a snack with me. So, look, excuse my, I can't even say tardiness. Alright. Okay. Alright. That'll work. Okay. Of course, we have to do all this, do all that, do all this. Alright, what's today? Thursday. December 2025. Current time now is 10:55. 10 not 11. 55 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, jeez. What are we on? I do always have to look that up. Oh, I didn't change that. I thought I had to put a title on that yesterday. Okay, that's Vlogmas 3. That's Vlogmas 4. Okay, so we're on Vlogmas 2025, number 5. What are we doing? Let me go back. I can change it real quick. Let me see. Cut the brightness up so I can see. No. I feel like I got it. Oh my god, I'll change it. Let's do. Okay, what is the description? Okay, it does say vlog, so for the description. Okay, that's fine. Vlogmas 2025. I need to get 4 emoji. No, yes, 4 emoji. That was yesterday. Okay. Cut them comments on the floor, please. Okay. I'll do a playlist later. For vloggers. Get you on a playlist. Okay. Alright. Go back. Midas Touch did not take the day off today. They've been posting all day. Goodness gracious. I'm like, take the day off. 55%, 99%, 93, 87. Okay, percent still looking good. 87. I have a free charger if you want to go ahead and just hold on shoulders, please. If you want to go ahead and just get on the charger, just sit right there because all that overreaching is a lot on my shoulders. Okay, let me go ahead and get 87% charged up real quick. Thank you for the light. Okay, which Which quote did we use yesterday? Oh my goodness, it was somebody blue, right? Wasn't it somebody blue? Food you wish had no calories. Probably pizza. But then again, what sense was that made? Progress is okay. And then hold on, let me go to it real quick. I don't want to watch it. I just go to my channel real quick and let me see. Okay, I used that one. Progress is okay. So endurance is okay. I don't think I want to have two blues at the same back to back. Let me find another quote. Another thumbnail. Quote about. I don't know. I need a quote about something. Get my salad ready. We have a Zaxby's leftover salad here. We got some chicken strips left over from Zaxby's. We were just gonna add some beans and rice to it, because she decent, but ooh. Okay, how to screenshot again? Shift Command 3, I believe. Family, where life begins and love never ends. To keep it simple. Just keep it simple. Let me change it. Let me grab it. And then we'll just use that one. She got a little heart with a little flower at the top. Like one of them tags. Hold on, let me, please. Get your thumb down there, okay. Go and get all that out the way too. All that screenshot evidence. Okay. We had to get some beans, black eyed peas, and field peas and snaps. It's by Margaret Holmes. On the bean aisle. Okay. Hello. Hello. Me. Adil? Adil? Is that a okay. Do I need to begin? Somebody trying to distract me while I'm trying to get this live stream situated. Oh, bread. Oh, okay. I was like, what is that? What is, okay. I got bread. You know I mean, it ain't no begin. You know I'm not gonna come to the table without no bread. I got two breads here. I got, of course, you know, when you go to Zaxby's and you order that Zax pack, cause this is definitely a family of 6. So, you know, ain't nobody just getting no them meals. You know, I'm very close to getting them platters, if you ask me. But I got one of these little cheese breads. They got the little mozzarella cheese in the inside. They sell them in the store. I forgot the name of them, but they got like a Mexican name to it. Somewhere with an M in the red bag in the frozen department. Child, they only sell them at Walmart. And then of course I got some Texas toast from Zaxby's. And so we was gonna eat that. Then I got a little leftover Papa John's as well. So, where's that rag at? So I can have something like my hands. Did I put it in here? Where's she at? See what I mean? I just said that about my shoulder, all that reaching over stuff. I don't even know why I put you all the way back there. All right, let me see what's going on in these YouTube streets. Hold on. Let me get you situated. Let me get you situated real quick. We got it. Just can you go back over here? Hold on. Just give me a second, please, because I know I'm live. And I didn't get this together before I had got on here. Cause that's not how we do. We just go live. All right. Now get on out of there until I find something. Oh, there's somebody. Why is it so loud? Somebody driving this moped that late at night. It's so loud. I'm like, damn. Okay, let me see what's going on over here. I'm like, it's too late to be driving. Is it a dirt bike? It's something. It could have been somebody called though too. Okay, let me get my salad ready. Let me see. Suddenly quit on Trump. Exodus. DOJ lawyers. Fine. What y'all about that? DOJ lawyers who quit. What's going on over there? How many FBI agents quit or fired is what massive number? Okay. What is going on? Just give me a second. I told you he'd take the day off. Being over there at Midas Touch. I don't know. I'm very convinced. Hold on, I got you on mute. People inside David's cell. Hold on, let me just click on you. Let me put you on mute. Get out of the John, we finna go over here. This is a commercial. We didn't come for them. So you know where we at? Look, had black shirt. He ain't take the day off. When did this drop? Okay, this was yesterday. My bad. So he could have very well possibly taken the day off. Let me stop so I can hear. Give me a second. Let me see what you're talking about. Gang. Ever since it was revealed that there might have been more people inside David's circle might have had something to do with, or at least known about, the mysterious death of Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a 14-year-old girl who was found deceased in the trunk of David's Tesla near his house in Hollywood Hills. Now, one of the biggest names that has come up in this. Who? The manager. Right now, it still feels like a rumor, but apparently this all comes off the back of a grand jury questioning. Right. And one of the names that comes up a lot. Right, we see in this article, the grand jury reveals the details, okay, in the Celeste Hernandez case, a link to David. One of the big names that keeps coming up is Robert Morgenroth. Robert, man, what was going on, Robert? Okay, according to just listen to his response. Tells you everything. If you listen to his response, it will literally tell you everything. Because prosecutor asked, or grand jury, somebody, whoever that was. I mean, if it was a prosecutor, why you ain't called the police? What was his response? I was just trying to finish the tour. Why would you need to be? Morgenroth was overheard describing LA County Deputy District Attorney Beth Silverman as very pushy when questioning why he didn't call the police after learning of the discovery. Morgenroth allegedly continued, I said, I feel like I didn't have the responsibility to do that and just wanted to continue with the tour. Break both of those statements down. I didn't feel like what he said? I didn't have the responsibility to do that, right? That's completely different from, and just wanted to continue with the tour. That's two different ones. Lobster claws for hands. My bad. You didn't have the response. I'm sorry. I need the transcript. I need the transcript because I'm curious to know what was the context.
Okay. How crazy is that?
Did you
That's what
keep
this
riding
person
by?
said to the grand jury after being questioned. Why didn't you do anything? Robert Morgan Ross, general manager of Mogul Vision record label, testified before the grand jury. Okay. They said, what was going on? Why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you do it?
They so loud. It is Christmas, so.
But the other person that they said might have had something to do with this was an uncooperative female witness who recently indeed refused to testify. Uncooperative witness
Put my
was
beans in
apparently
here.
due to be arrested, but this was all the way back on December the 10th. It's now been 2 weeks since this, and there has been no women arrested.
Right.
Okay, apparently it was a woman.
Okay. Right.
They're basically saying this person represents this woman basically represents multiple people in the case. Okay, because one witness is so uncooperative, she is about to be arrested. So they've said that it was indeed a woman. Now, today we're going to have a closer look at some of the people around David. Okay, the management team behind David, and some of the people that might have been around when these things are going left, when rumors are swirling that he's in a relationship with a runaway minor, when he's suddenly disappearing, he's dropping his Withered album, it's got all these references to death, and within a few months, she's being found dead in the car after it's been towed. It's absolutely crazy. Okay, so we're going to work out who is most likely going to be the woman who they're saying is not cooperative. Now, there is a pretty good theory around this. Okay?
The little chick that just ran off the
all the way back to the start. Robert Morgan Roth, okay, he is just the tip of the iceberg. There's a lot more interesting people. So apparently, okay, the label Mogul Vision was apparently established by Lil Mosey and Smoke Puff's manager Josh Marshall, okay, the other person who is involved in the career of David, okay. Arista Records teams with Josh Marshall to launch Mogul Vision Music,
okay,
right? They're partnering with notable artist managers to launch joint venture record labels. All right. They basically decided to team with Lil Mosey's manager, Arista Records, and Josh Marshall, best known for managing Smoke Purp and Lil Mosey, confirmed the launch of Mogul Vision Music. The joint venture label focused on breaking talent and building artists' careers through A&R branding and marketing strategies. Based in New York, Marshall will serve as CEO of the label. Mogul Vision's first signings include Blatina, an Atlanta rapper, and Kenny Hoopla. Okay? Now, Lil Mosey, okay, he's most known for this 2020 track, Blueberry Faygo. Okay, you might remember this. This was a banger, all right? This was a legendary moment for the game, all right? I've been getting copyright claims recently for showing moving videos. We ain't going to show you moving footage from music videos. But as you can see, Blueberry Faygo was a certified hit, all right? It went March 26, 2020. That's when it came out. It's got 375 million views. How insane is that? An insane amount of views. That's a ridiculous amount of views, quite frankly, okay? So just like with David, okay, Robert Morgan Roth was probably spending a lot of time day to day with Lil Mosey, and apparently worked in a capacity as his tour manager. So this is Robert Morgan Roth's LinkedIn account, okay, and it's got all of his career highs as being tour manager for various rappers and musicians that have been associated with that label. And as you can see here, he was the tour manager for Smoke Purp from April 2018 to 2020, and he was the tour manager for Lil Mosey from June 2019 to April 2020. Okay, and Kenny Hoopla, full-time for over a year, Gigi Perez, and then he became a general manager at Mogul Vision full-time. But interestingly, I don't mean to drag Lil Mosey, but okay, his career did actually come to a little bit of a disappointing, I don't know how to say this politely, okay, but basically his career was derailed by these pretty serious allegations, okay? He was accused of the R word. He was found not guilty in the end, okay? It's important to say he was never found guilty in court, but these allegations came from a 2021 incident where somebody claimed that the R word did go down, basically claimed that she and a girlfriend experienced you know, that awful situation. Now, okay,
Come on.
never ever
That's
sue.
what I'm saying. He gonna tick me off because, you know, he didn't got into the habit of reading Reddit posts. I'm like, sir, we can't be doing that. I mean, we can, but my goodness. This is a 30-minute video right here already. So, just go.
Anybody in his circle, anybody in his management, anybody that's been part of his label, put him on any of.
Speaking of, just give me 1 second real quick, because I do have to pause. Let me tell you, I saw this video earlier today. I don't want to forget it. That's why we can come back to that. He ain't talking about nothing. Technically, he really ain't like talking about nothing. David and Celeste, child, and that lawyer that we already know what he said when he was being questioned by the grand jury. Shout out to him for showing up. Ooh, pause, honey, pause. We need to go back. There was this video on Fail Army. Let me see. Where she at? Oh, it's at the, child, it's probably like within the first, I want to say, is this, oh my goodness, my bad. Oh, hold on. I'm on the wrong one. I'm on Daily Dose. Move out the way and go back to Fail Army. Yeah, and Fail Army. Yeah, 100 fails. Okay, let me put it on. Okay. When I tell you, it's this video that I saw. I think he was like 80, 89. He was like real close. He was very early on. Let me see. Am I on? Is my speed up fast? Oh, it's on normal. Okay. I'm finna show you now, cause when I tell you, I had such a great laugh. I had such a great laugh. This was on Fail Army and Fail Army 2.0. And so, of course, I don't want to say of course, because that is just very disrespectful. But it was somebody who fell down the stairs. I hate to do it to him. I really do, because although I would never want this to happen to me, to be quite honest, I would never want to fall down those stairs, yet alone slip on some ice, you know, that black ice, whatever you want to call it, that be on them stairs. That's some different. Child, that ice hit different. And so, not him, because he fell too. Look, wait, hold on, go to him, child, go to him. He fell. He fell too. He fell too, but look. That's not who I'm even talking about, child. I think he was like 89, 83. It's one. He coming up. They started at 100 and then they just went down. Oh. Wait, hold on. Let me put him on the screen. Let me slide them over so y'all can see. Hold on. Stop. I gotta play it. Wait, no, I was trying to school him over. So you saw 89. Let me go back. Let me go back. Let me go back. Just a few minutes. Hold on. And then, let me get out. Let me get out. Okay, he coming up next. This was just somebody who had put the reef on the outside of the garage and then opened the garage with the balls and everything falling off. But listen, let me tell you something. Oh my God, my boy. When I tell you, this one was so tragic. It's the sound that's for me. It's the sound effects for me. Let me. Cause you heard somebody, you heard a neighbor say something. That's the worst when you hear a neighbor say something. Dang. Man, I'm talking about that dangerous. Let me let him finish, John, because or do I want to let him finish? Did their label know? That's the title. Did David's label know? I mean, just go.
To deal with. Now, around the time Celeste's body was identified, a TikToker named Desi Overzealous, Desi Overzealous,
He is not reading today.
would basically come out and claim, okay, to be Lil Mosey's brother, and posted a video making serious allegations about
brother. Oh,
I might have meant to say sister, but basically, this is the person, this is the human who claims to be, claims Lil Mosey is their brother. Be very careful, okay, so I don't know too much backstory about this particular person. But they're claiming that their brother, Lil Mosey, was kind of had a little bit of a hard time in the music industry and, seen some things, and basically has some choice words about the management team that was behind Lil Mosey during this time, and they made serious allegations.
Little spies. Before I thought about the Tesla, because Tesla somehow is always at the scene of a crime, what truly stopped me in my tracks was the few degrees of separation between myself and David. The common link being David's manager. Last I checked, I don't know about right now, David's manager was my little brother's former manager. Anytime a young child, especially, is ushered into a record deal, but into the music industry, but entertainment in general, you're looking at lessers of evils. Like, it's incredibly subjective to see what a good scenario is. In a scenario where everyone is trying to exploit the creative, the talent, the child. In a whirlwind of terrible people, one of my only allies was my brother's manager. But his proximity to Diddy, obviously, as a millennial, I knew everything in and behind Diddy for years and years and years. So I'm like, oh,
ma'am,
you're acquainted with the Combses. That gave me pause. And ultimately, my brother would have a very tumultuous experience with his 15 minutes of fame. Whatever advice you come in with, no matter how young, it will be amplified. Any weakness, any craving, all of that will be indulged. They'll give you everything. They'll let you be as uninhibited, gluttonous, feel as though you are invincible.
That's true. They'll have you walking down the street in tighty whities and some white cowboy boots. 3 o'clock in the morning. Quote Nikki.
Normalizing you being desensitized by the tsunami wave of freedom within the industry, access. It seems like abundance, especially for a young boy or, a very young man. At the peak of my brother's career, when, he was really supposed to take off.
Come on, man.
The pandemic hit. His biggest single didn't have the moment that it should have or could have. Couldn't go on tour. It was all these various things. The people he hung out with, the influences, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. My brother, when he was most vulnerable, after being vulnerable throughout his record deal, but at the peak of his vulnerability, not even 20 years old yet, he was targeted, manipulated, exploited, brainwashed into a ritual cult with a Haitian warlock. Everyone that loved and cared about him was
Come
alienated.
on, man.
Stepmom, my brother's brothers, myself. Eventually, he would go on to leave his label, fire his manager, and become entirely handled. When I got wind of the circumstances, after already kind of saying, well, you're 18, I can't help as much as I'm desperately trying to anymore. This is your journey. This is your walk. I can't save you from you. The time they clued me back in on how bad the situation had gotten, how programmed my brother was, it was already a crisis, a disaster. Went to LA, I'm talking to lawyers, like, all these things are happening. I'm having a conversation with my stepmother who, throughout the entire experience, we didn't see eye to eye.
Get
I was
her
much
off the
more
screen, please.
critical. But I don't have a kid, so I tried to lead with grace. But when I found out the extent of the psychological warfare and the spiritual warfare my brother had.
I'm not gonna lie, she sounds a little bit crazy to me. Now this post is going around. It says Lil Mosey's sis, Desi Zeller, so I guess sister, on Interscope, and Josh Marshall and the music industry cult, David and the Celeste murder. And basically someone said, okay, did I get this right? Your brother used to have David's manager too, and eventually your brother fell into a ritual cult and left the manager. And then she replied, my brother fell into the cult while still under the manager. He left the manager soon after he left the label, all under the influence of his cult.
But she didn't answer the question about whether or not they had the same
I'm not gonna lie, it sounds quite psychotic and delusional to me. But it just goes to
manager.
show you, okay, just how like deep.
I guess they did, 'cause he said
thought
that.
patterns can get when it comes to how they think about Hollywood and the
That's his
industry.
resume on
And
LinkedIn.
talk recently about Diddy party. She mentioned Diddy parties,
Right.
all that kind of thing. And sometimes it's like, oh, that sounds like a whole load of nonsense. Then you start hearing things. You're like, okay, maybe there's like some shreds of truth to this stuff. But really, she does sound. I see people in the comments saying she basically mad that. She's salty that Mosey got dropped. She's salty she lost her free cash grab and she's just trying to trash everybody. Maybe she didn't have the motion that he actually needed to have a successful career at a label, and they just decided to make up a bunch of baloney and say, oh, well, these labels, they're getting satanic cults, and it's like Jay-Z, oh, they're rock, this rock, the rock, oh, it's the Illuminati. Like, I don't think that's really what's happening, but at the same time, I do sympathize, and I'm sure that shit did get weird on tour, and, maybe there's some negative influence now. In David's case, okay, Robert himself is not just a tour manager or day-to-day manager, but somebody that apparently was deeply involved in David's personal life and in his Discord server.
Personal.
And there was basically a YouTuber called Matthew Bodo, who basically would do a great job explaining this. Here's what he said.
You have it list.
Now, a lot of people were talking about Josh Marshall and the fact that he was David's manager and he had to have known all of this, but obviously we found out that Josh lives in a different state and he really was not working with David face to face as much as we think, if ever. But you know who was working with David all the time? His tour manager, Rob. And Rob is a beloved person in David's circle. He is referenced many times in David's Discord. The kids in this Discord love Rob.
And everyone in David's Discord knew Rob to be David's manager. There was no reference of Josh Marshall anywhere in this Discord. Someone says Rob over David. Yeah, you can read this one for yourself. Mind you, this is a kid. Someone says, I'm low-key kind of scared of Rob. And someone else says, I love Rob. This person says Rob is a Tommy. They were talking about a show that David had, and someone says I should have gone just to...
Wait.
Right.
They just said Rob is a Tommy?
This
Right.
one for yourself. Mind you, this is a kid. Someone says, I'm low-key kind of scared of Rob. And someone else says, I love Rob. This person says Rob is a Tommy.
Yeah, that's a bit weird.
They were talking about a show that David had, and someone says I should have gone just to meet Rob. Someone says I dapped David up and met Rob. Someone else responds, I wish I met Rob. And someone else says he's the GOAT. Another person says, at least I got to see Rob on stage. Someone says Rob tapped me on the shoulder in line and said he liked my merch. Another person says I seen Rob walk past me a few times. He had so much aura. I don't know why the others didn't get blasted by his aura wave. This is some pretty big aura, you guys. I mean, I've never seen aura even such fluorescence, such brightness, such puppiness in my life. One person highlights the fact that Rob can fix things and get you right. Another person says Rob is mad chill. He gave my friend free VIP too. Another weird message coming from a kid who's interacted with Rob at a past show. You can pause to read. And yes, Rob has Discord, and yes, he is in David's Discord. This is his user right here in the group.
Oh.
One person even says Rob is 31 and talks like he's 13. It's so funny.
Rob.
That's a little weird. Now we're starting to see, like, bro, these things are getting a little bit off track.
He's 13. It's so funny.
Rob was the one who was able to get a PJ order for David in between shows while he was on tour earlier this year. Rob is at every single show that David performs at, and he's aware of every single person that David is bringing into these shows, and he needs to know their ages because some of these events that they attend afterwards are 18 up.
And I know a lot of people are going to say that she had fake IDs, but there were so many events that David was at with his friend group, and there are photos of everyone at these events, and Celeste is not in any of them. A couple of people
Okay, it's a little bit weird. I always thought it was weird that she was apparently backstage at events, but then Celeste was just nowhere to be seen in official pictures. Like, why is she not in the photo with that's his girl? But then again, that makes sense. That's probably the most plausible deniability you're gonna find with this situation. You're gonna say, well, she wasn't in any of the official photos, so they can't have been together. But what we're gonna do now is we're gonna take a closer look at this kind of ecosystem that was built around David, and we're gonna start off with Robert Morgan-Roth's kind of background to just understand how we got to this point. So look, Rob's got a lot going for him, man. He was a student athlete, right, in Bryant University in Union, New Jersey. He basically was, he was hitting dingers. He returned to the mound, making multiple appearances, 5 runs on 9 hits. He was putting in work, okay? Got good education, right? Basically was an athlete, was a promising baseball athlete. And basically his time at Bryant University is documented online, okay? A couple of videos still remain online that were apparently videos from around when he was actually at university.
I saw muchas cosas hacer.
Lugar de sentado en la computadora. Debes tocar la guitarra.
Debes leer un libro. Debes salir con tus amigos. Debes correr.
Debes jugar baseball.
So basically, okay, this is 2012 Spanish Lab 106 class at Bryant University, okay? I don't fully understand what's going on. Who knows? Maybe this is one of them satanic industry rituals they be talking about, okay?
What's your manual word? I'm sorry, what are you gonna do about it? I just wish there was another option.
It's just bizarre.
Now they're mixing.
He's jumping down this rabbit hole with Mark. Let me just. I be trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. But oh my goodness. The way my patience is set up. She got plastic surgery? Ice Spice got plastic surgery?
Criminals love
No ma'am. No ma'am. I saw it last night.
Thinking and talking to people about what all of this means, and I've got more and more. I saw you talking about the simulation theory once or twice, and I started to fall into that that whole of thing.
Oh, it's no, you gotta, step outside every.
Hold on, let me click on him. So you know where we at. Since he all on the algorithm. This is the title. Real reason scientists know we're in a simulation on the diary of CEO clips. So technically this is a clip. 20-minute clip from the interview.
smell the roses.
But you said you wouldn't be surprised if people found out the universe is simulated by some sort of advanced life form.
Yeah, given what we can now compute, throw in quantum computing on top of that. We don't have this power yet, but to make a world in our computer where the characters in that world believe they have free will. And then they conduct themselves, and then they invent computers, and then they make a world inside of their computer. And where their characters think they have free will. And then then it's simulated universes all the way down. And close your eyes and throw a dart. Which of these, are you going to get the first universe that invented the simulated universe, or the zillion ones that follow? The dart's likely to hit one of the others. But my escape hatch from that is, since we do not yet know or have the power to make a perfectly simulated world, it means we are either the first universe that's real that hasn't created one yet, or we're the last universe that hasn't evolved yet to have created one of its own. Because all the middles have the power to create one. So that takes it, a zillion to one against us to maybe 50-50.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So I'm a little more comfortable that way.
Comfortable.
Yeah. I sleep a little better at night.
But I guess it wouldn't matter anyway. If we
It wouldn't matter if we're completely simulated. What do you care? You're living your life. I know we don't want to believe that there are puppet strings on us. Part of me thinks that, though. Just when everything on Earth is kind of stable. Oh, COVID shows up. So this is the programmer saying, the Earth is too boring now. We gotta spice it up a bit. They throw in a pandemic. Okay, a once in a century pandemic. Now we're entertaining for them. What do? Who gets vaccinated? Who doesn't? Who's going to fight? Who dies? Who lives? Okay, so then we kind of get through that. We get the vaccine. Okay, we're just calming down off of that.
And then what happened?
Oh, let's make a billionaire real estate developer from New York City the most powerful person in the world. Let's stir the pot again. And so now a whole other set of pot stirring that's going on. So that's kind of consistent with a snot-nosed alien kid in the parents' basement programming our existence. That's what I would do. I would throw in interest. There's a game, Sim City.
Yeah.
I played that. That's how old I am. Sim City. So you are mayor of this city, and people can vote you out of office. So you have to do things that make them happy. And there's an opinion poll that's there. And if you spend too much money here, you're not spending money on the schools. That's bad. But then as crime goes up, and you're realizing, oh my gosh, and even this simple simulation, so many interdependent phenomena
Variables.
are taking place. Then things that happen. Then Godzilla steps through and plows through the city. Okay, now Godzilla's not real, but it kind of is, because that would be a disaster. Is it a flood? Is it fires? It's a thing that nobody saw coming. Okay, we are recording this interview on September 11th. I live 4 blocks from Ground Zero. That's Godzilla walking through the city. Well, how do you respond to that? You didn't know that was going to happen the day before. So realizing that in this game, it's only interesting to play when disastrous things happen. Not too many in a row, because you have to be able to recover. So when I look at our world, I'm thinking the best argument I have for being in a simulation is how often some big disaster takes place. When it was the first World War, and then after that, the peace, pandemic. Okay, the 1918 flu pandemic. And we got out of that. Second World War. Okay, we get out of that. The Cold War, nuclear holocaust. Okay, so that's that's me looking over the shoulder of the programmer.
Oh God, I think I prefer the world where I feel like I have free will and there's not.
Does it make a difference if you believe you have free will, even if you don't?
No, never know.
And the fun answer to that. Ask me, say, Do you have free will? Ask me that.
Do you have? Do we have free will? Do you have free will?
What choice do I have?
He's so corny.
You get a brand new.
I love when he used to curse. So corny. Perfect response, though. When you think about it, I'm like, and I have to admit, I do love my free will. No, I'm not gonna. Know what you want.
No,
I
if
do
you don't
appreciate
have
my free will.
then you don't even have an option to say you don't. So, so you just live life. Just live your life. So that the world is better off for you having lived in it.
And what does that mean for you? Like,
It means people are better off. The institutions are better off. People are happier, healthier, wealthier, safer, better fed. That rationality matters in politics and lawmaking, and that will help to ensure stability of anything you build going forward. But yeah, that's all. I mean, it's not complicated. And you were talking about meaning before. I stopped looking for meaning decades ago because I realized we, any of us, has the power to make meaning in life. If you're gonna look for meaning, are you looking under a rock, behind a tree? It's as though meaning is sitting there waiting for you to find it. Oh, I found meaning. There it is. Now my life is complete. That feels so powerless on your own destiny. Whereas I make meaning. I want to learn something today that I didn't know yesterday. I want to lessen the suffering of someone today compared with however that person was living yesterday. I want to use what I learn to well up within me and manifest as wisdom. Because information is not really useful until it becomes knowledge. And then knowledge is good. You can show off if you have a lot of knowledge. That's what these game shows do. But in the end, the best use of knowledge is when it becomes wisdom. And wisdom, people say, oh, I don't like getting older. I want to be young again. I don't want to be young again.
Oh, no, that's right.
When I was 30, I was an idiot. Even when I was 30, I thought I was brilliant, right? So don't get older unless you have wisdom to show for it. It's when you don't have something to show for your age, you want to be younger.
Go back.
You're just getting old with nothing to show for it. But I continue to learn things every day, passively and actively. Passively is you just notice.
Right.
Open your eyes sometimes and see what's happening,
Sure.
where things are headed, what they're doing.
Awareness.
You learn. Not all things you learn are good. And if they're bad, or need adjustment, or need help, do something about it, if you can. So that's how I derive meaning. Hence my tombstone. Be ashamed to die unless you scored some victory for humanity. There's the meaning for you.
There's a whole class of billionaires that are trying to live forever now. And I think we are on the verge of being able to extend life potentially indefinitely.
Yeah, we're looking for the date. It's called escape velocity. You know about that phrase? It exists in astrophysics, of course, but the escape velocity for Earth, for example, is 7 miles per second. So, escape velocity in astrophysics is the speed that you launch something so that it never comes back, no matter how hard the gravity tries. Okay? So every object has an escape velocity. Escape velocity in aging is, the idea is there is a generation yet to be born, but in the very near future, who will not only live longer than the previous generation. So here's a cleaner way to say this. Every year, you can expect to live 1 month longer because knowledge about human physiology has gotten better. Okay? Just think about it that way.
Yeah.
And so we know what to eat, what not to eat, how to exercise, how to not over-exercise, how to maintain your health, your health and physiology. All right. There will come a day where every year that you're alive, medicine has figured out a way for you to live an extra year. That's the escape
I told you I was hungry.
So every year you live another year. And after that, it could be every year you live 2 years. So that's the escape velocity. So it's not just everybody lives forever today. It sort of works its way into the population. And yeah, I don't want to live forever.
Why would you want to?
Take me off this earth.
Immediately.
My
Look,
husband
I'm
used
like,
to
please. I'm so over it. At this point, child, listen. It's that Klarna glitch for me. How you sign up for Klarna? Use Klarna. How is that a glitch? I don't understand. I don't understand. I'm confused. I'm like, y'all just don't know no better, Lord. And I'm like, I'm trying to make it at least about 74, 79. Maybe even 83. For me, that's immediately because at least I get to see all the kids get grown and stuff. Maybe have some grandkids and stuff like that. But, oh my goodness, I don't know what generation that is over there that just don't know no better.
Provided, I mean, I still have more to give, more books to write, that in my judgment would make the world better than it currently is. So I don't want to die before I get as much of that done as I can.
For sure.
Are you scared of death?
Absolutely not.
Although, that's easy to say because I'm not at death's door. And I had someone rationalize with me, they made a potent argument. I can say now, with another 20 years life expectancy, 15, 20 years, that I don't fear death. But if I'm on my deathbed and someone says, if I can wave my hand and you could live another year, would you? The answer is probably going to be yes. And at the end of that year, so I don't know if my sentiments about life and death will change on my deathbed.
But that wasn't the
I know
question.
my mother, there's a point where she couldn't swallow and she didn't want a feed tube. And she said, my time has come. They put me in palliative care and then hospice. She was dead 10 days later.
Ooh, good.
So she was in charge of her. They could have fed her with a tube.
Right.
And she would have been completely healthy for another, 5 years perhaps. But, she raised 2 kids, 3 kids, 50-year marriage, happy life, stable life.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm good with that. So the billionaires, that's ego for sure. If you live forever, there are other people who you're taking resources from, who would come behind you. That's one. But two, are you still contributing to the world? Should you give another person a chance who's in school now, who might be the next genius that'll figure out the energy problem, the poverty problem, the pollution problem? Are you figuring that out? No. You're in the last. You're 90 years old, and you're just living on your yacht. So there's the problem that the last years of your life are not the most creative, the most ambitious, the most irreverent. There's irreverence where new ideas come. You know, you've perhaps seen episodes of Shark Tank. You know, half or more of those people are 30 and under. They got ideas, fresh ideas. Everyone else is entrenched. So if people start living forever, they're living forever in the part of their life that is least useful to the progress and advance of culture and civilization. And so all of civilization will stagnate.
Do you think, in your lifetime, you said you've got a 20-year life expectancy?
Well, 15 to 20.
15 to 20-year life expectancy.
Based on my age now and the age when my parents died. Yeah.
But I mean, you've done a lot of neurological work and laid down a lot of good foundations with all these books you've written, so maybe it'll be the upper end of that.
It's food for AI.
It was
food for ChatGPT.
Right.
What do you make of AI? What do you think?
I love it.
Good pivot.
I love it, but it's by the way, it's been here for a while. It really spooked people when it started writing your term paper and composing your painting and your set design. All right, the whole other category of people got spooked by that. Meanwhile, AI has been harnessed and being fully used in my field and in most of the physical sciences. It's doing work. If you can do the work and I can go to the Bahamas, let it do the work. We have telescopes coming online that could not exist without the intervention of AI to access the data, reduce the data, analyze the data, make a decision about whether it should go back to the thing that it just observed, because that was weird compared to the last time it was observed. This is the Vera Rubin telescope that I'm literally describing now. And so we're living with it. What it means is it'll have to up the game of people who say they are creative. And what I mean by that is, I can say, ChatGPT, take this picture of us and say, ChatGPT, paint this scene in the style of Van Gogh. It'll come back, the colors will be just right. It'll have the swirly lines. It'll be perfect. If Van Gogh was standing there, that's what Van Gogh would have painted. If I say, ChatGPT, paint us in the style of no artist who has ever lived. I don't know what it's going to give us, but it'll probably suck, okay? And so true creativity is not aping what has happened before and making adjustments. True creativity, yes, you always build on others. I'm not in denial of that. But true creativity takes leaps that most people don't even know can be taken. And so the artist, so that gap, I think, is what AI in the arts world is going to force creative people to reach for. Otherwise, you're replaced by a simple request in the input line of a large language model or of an art.
I was just wondering then, if I watch Cosmos in 30, 40 years' time, let's say 100 years' time, I was wondering if this is the moment where humans and computers in the story of humanity become one and intertwine. If you think about things like Neuralink, which Elon's working on, to me, when he first made that company, all of the narrative that he put out there was about us being able to interface with AI. So we'd need like a brain chip computer interface. More recently, it's been about people that are paraplegic and disabled and helping blind people see. But I think that's the socially acceptable way to advance the technology. But in his early work, he said, superintelligence is going to arrive and we're going to need a way to basically keep up, where we have better sort of latency with the technology. And I'm wondering if that's like what we're seeing now.
Yeah, superintelligence, if that happens, then it becomes our overlord and we become its pet. Now, that sounds pretty scary, but don't we treat our pets better than we treat other humans in the world? Think about it. The pet is kept warm and fed and happy. And would you do that for a homeless person in the street? A person of your own species? Probably not. So if we're the pet for the super intelligence,
What about the chicken?
how bad could it be?
We used to have chickens when we were younger, and I watched my Nigerian mother chase that chicken around the garden, grab it, pull its head off, and cook it.
Wow, okay. Yeah. Oh, you worried that it's going to do that for us?
Yeah.
Run around.
Not all my pets made it.
And snap. Not all the pets survive. Yeah, it depends on whether it needs us to be alive or dead. We have to be relevant to it in some way. Maybe we'll be court jesters. It'll be entertainment. Until then, I don't know that this is some special moment. I do a lot of reading of history and throughout history.
Shoot you right there.
Most occasions, especially in the era of the Industrial Revolution, people think they're living in a special moment. So I'm not going to be that guy who says today is special, because everyone has thought they were in a special moment.
And what do you think is the probability of me getting to another planet in my lifetime?
0.
Goodness, that was fast.
Really?
Yeah.
This pisses me.
Settle. Oh, goodness. I guess he want to travel.
You want to know why?
Go ahead, Neil.
Please.
Yeah, it's just 0.
I thought SpaceX
Oh,
gonna go to Mars.
I have an unorthodox view on this, so you don't have to believe me.
okay. Well, go ahead anyway.
You know, but
Go ahead anyway.
my read of history tells me that we only do big, expensive things if there's a geopolitical reason for it, either an economic reason or a defense reason. Not just because it's the next thing to do. And when we went to the moon, realized in 1961, May 25th,
Tread lightly here. There are some people who do not believe that we went to the moon. So tread lightly here. Of course, Neil is one of those people who do believe that it did happen. He does believe that it did happen. Was the green screens that good back then, or I don't know, but
President Kennedy, this is 6 weeks after Yuri Gagarin flew around the Earth in orbit. And we didn't have a ship that wouldn't blow up on the launch pad that could carry humans yet. He calls a joint session of Congress and says, if the events of recent weeks, couldn't even utter the man's name, the events of recent weeks, and I paraphrase, are any indication of the impact of this adventure on the minds of men everywhere, then we need to show the world the path of freedom over the path of tyranny. It's a battle cry against communism, the godless Russians, and the whole Soviet Union. We were losing a technological race. And that was the battle cry that prompted Congress to write the check. Oh, later on he says, oh, it'll be, put a man on the moon and before return him to safely to Earth. And, oh, that's so beautiful. Let's hold hands. That's so beautiful. No one ever spent scads of money just because it was a cool thing to do. That has never happened ever. So, we go to the moon. People forgetting why we went to the moon say, while we're on the moon, at this rate, we'll be on Mars by 1985. That'll be the next ambitious goal we'll take on. No. Because we didn't just go to the moon because that was the next thing to do. We went to the moon to beat the Russians. And when we got to the moon, and we looked over our shoulder and the Russians weren't there, we canceled the Apollo program. 1970, we haven't been back to the moon in 53 years. We canceled it. Apollo 18 was ready to fly. It's now in captivity in Huntsville, Alabama, in a museum on its side. It's fascinating to walk the full length of it. All rocket flight ready parts. It never flew. We ended at Apollo 17. No, we didn't go to Mars because we didn't have geopolitical reasons to do so, neither economic nor for defense reasons. Historically, people explored, did expensive things for the glory of God and royalty. Very expensive. The pyramids, the honor of royalty. okay? The church building, cathedral building, all of these activities were in the glory of power, deity, and royalty. None of that happens today. We're past that. The power of kings and gods, that doesn't happen. Nobody dislodges major resources, capital resources of a nation in the interest of a god or a king anymore. Okay? It's secular. And secular means it's money or it's war, because you feel threatened.
If you love the Diary of a CEO, Brandon, you watch this.
I told you that was just a clip. I'm glad too, because goodness gracious. We got another clip. Let me see what this one about, y'all. I'm wrapping it up. Listen. I forgot who that would have asked me, you gonna be here for the holiday? I forgot because it was like last week sometime. I was like, yeah, I'll probably be here, you know, for the holidays. I ain't got nothing to do. And so, you know, I made it and stuff like that, but I ain't gonna keep you long. You know, I just wanted to come on here, get you the first day of Kwanzaa. Did we make it? On the money. On the money. What's going on with this?
Base.
Okay, what's going on with this ad? Let me see what
What
it
are
is.
the other skills that you think we need to equip ourselves with?
Give me a second, hold on, because, well, I don't know who this is.
The way that the world is heading.
Let me scroll down. Okay, Simon Sinek. It might be Sinek. Hold on, give me a second. The real reason you're being lied to about AI. Simon. It might be Sinek, I don't know. To be quite honest, let me get up out of there, because I will forget. I think Trap Lord Ross just said that earlier when we was watching him about getting copyright claim about that video.
Like the calculator came along and we no longer needed to be able to do complicated maths.
Yeah, completely forgotten my times tables.
I can't spell anymore. I'm so fine. I said to my friends, the most I can do is 9 times 9. That's like the top end of my range. But spelling is the same. I get like half the word correct now with AI. It does the rest.
But again, you know.
So what are those skills?
I think it's all human skills. I think there needs. So I think where the world is going to go, and at least this is where I'm taking a bet, is that as the end product becomes easier to produce, it's the humanity that's going to suffer. And unless we take personal accountability, both as individuals and organizations, to teach and learn human skills, they will disappear for all the reasons we're talking about. So how do I listen? How do I hold space? How do I resolve conflict peacefully? How do I give and how do I receive feedback? Those are 2 different skills. How do I have an effective confrontation? You pissed me off. Do I know how to approach you as a friend, as a colleague, without creating a massive fight or losing a friendship over it? How to take accountability, how to express empathy. These skills, these very, very human skills, are the things that we're already starting to see, just with the internet and social media, are suffering. And so I think AI will only exaggerate the loss of those skills, and those skills are more important than learning how to spell.
One of the concerning things was I heard Sam Altman, who's the founder of OpenAI, and ChatGPT.
Oh, he had Sam. He had Sam on here? I might need to go back and watch that one, y'all, because, listen, let me tell you something. I don't know if you... I'm pretty sure that if he sat down with Sam, I could only imagine it was 100 times more, 99.8% times more effective than when Tucker Carlson sat down with Sam. Oh my goodness. I'm like, I mean, I understand that he wanted to ask about, I can't think of his name right now. I did get you the Kwanzaa now. Don't stop playing. Let me see if I could find I can't think of his name. I don't even know if I have that article. Let me look him up real quick. No. Shachir. I couldn't get it. I had to go find it. Because I'm like, what is his name again? Shachir. Over there on OpenAI. And so I understand, because you got to remember, Tucker had just sat down with Suchir's parents and did an interview. Yeah, just sat down with them. And so a couple months go by and he's sitting down with Sam. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, because if you know Tucker, you know how he is, you just know his demeanor. And I'm trying to figure out why his angle is so just completely off. I'm like, well, this is Sam. If anything, you should be honored to sit down and talk, and at least have him talk to you and you talk to him and y'all, but of course, he has his angle about AI. And then he hit the bombshell and brought up Suchir. I was like, oh, I should have known this was what this was going to be about. And so I'm like, ooh, you should have brought that up on like interview 2 or 3. Like, bring them back for that. How that doggone interview went so viral. You have to tread lightly with that one right there, because that was very unfortunate. That was very unfortunate. I'm talking about, listen, that's he over there with Charlie Kirk. With the way how that happened. I'm talking about just goodness. I don't know. I couldn't tell you. Ain't nobody, we don't know what happened. We really don't. We really don't. So I think that I may put that on my list to go back and watch Sam. If he interviewed him, I'm like, I'm pretty sure that the interview might have been better than when he sat down with Tucker. Cause I watched that one and it was a really good interview until that last 7 minutes, and it just completely went left.
And it has been closely tied to the concept of universal basic income. The overarching idea is that in a world where AI and automation eliminate many jobs, UBI may be necessary. WorldCoin is one way to help implement it. That was stated by the founder of ChatGPT, Sam Altman.
Yeah. I'll go back to my ironic statement before. Isn't it ironic that they want to do a universal income, a standard universal income, now that the knowledge workers are losing their jobs? But when the factory workers were losing their jobs, those same people were massively against these kinds of things. So
Wow, interesting. Uh-oh, he just dropped a gem. He just dropped a massive gem right there. Did you hear what he just said? Did you hear what he just said? He said, oh man. Now you guys want to consider universal income. But that was obviously not even an option when, like you said, the factory workers brought it up. But now that y'all losing y'all jobs to OAI. Anyway, my time has come to an end. Unfortunately, I did not take a nap. I didn't. The salad, the beans, the rice, the pizza, the bread, the nacho chips, the banana. It's sitting right where it needs to be. What they call it, that itis. Whew. But remember, I didn't take a nap. I didn't. I tried. And I think I dozed off while I was breastfeeding. I ended up dozing off, mouth wide open. You know, you fall asleep and you can feel it. I was like, oh, goodness. And so, I'm finna get on. Like I told you, I'm gonna get you at least the first day of Kwanzaa. I'm gonna probably go ahead and put my headphones on and watch this in the bed. The rest of this. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. It depends. Because I'm really, really tired. Like, I'm super tired right now. And I want to at least, you know, get myself to bed because then I have to wind down. I don't really fall asleep. It takes me 45 minutes to 2 hours just to fall asleep. Just remember, I have to get up, I have to roll over and breastfeed and stuff like that. It's it's a process. It really is. And so I have to get myself started. I do. That's also why I have to sometimes just let you sit in the background and I'm gonna just talk my way through shutting everything down and stuff like that, you know, get the charges and stuff, you know, because I got all this food that I was just eating. I'm gonna have to take all that. And if my OCD kick in, I'm gonna have to wash all these dishes. It just, hey, that's what I'm saying. Hey, listen. I got you here for the holidays and stuff like that. And I got you here the first day of Kwanzaa, you know. I came and spent a little time with you. Nothing too major, John. Nothing too major. I'm not one of those fancy type. I just do the best that I can while I can. Just because, you know, it's first of all, happy Thursday, belated Thursday, because I'm late. I ain't say it when I first got in here. And then, of course, obviously, happy Wednesday, all that. But in the meantime, we know how this goes. In between time. Okay, love you. Bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.